What's up, everybody? Today we're going to go through some of the questions that people have been asking online about the Quad Cortex and the new plugin capabilities. We'll just go through some of those things that I've seen online that, just kind of pop up a lot actually, which I'm kind of surprised because it's all in the documentation. If you go online, pretty much, you can find all the answers you need for whatever kind of questions you have. So I thought I'd make a comprehensive video for you guys because I'm excited about the 3.0 plugin. I've had the Quad Cortex for 2 years now, and I've always loved the tones that came from it. I love the capture feature and everything, and I've always been on the bandwagon for it. I know a lot of people have been just crapping on it, which personally I don't understand. These guys are working their butts off. Yes, it's promised things and stuff, but it's actually going to come to fruition to actually have plugin integration into the Quad Cortex. Let's talk about it. All right, guys. So let's talk about some of the few things here. First and foremost, let's talk about the launch date. That is going to be July 31st. Okay. I have here pulled up the Quad Cortex or Neural DSP's website. Basically, you can go here and to find out anything about what's going on, if you go to this little three dots here, just go to the knowledge base, it'll show you just the latest news of what they're doing and what's happening and all that. This is a very good place to start if you have any questions about what's going on here. So as we can see here, July 31st, that's when this thing is all going to launch. And you go into here, it's going to tell you exactly what you need to do to go through and update this stuff. Okay. As it says here, with Wi-Fi and all that stuff, it takes about 30 minutes. The plugins that are going to be available is the Gojira X and the Polini X. And that's it. That's it for now. Even though that there's other plugins that have the X compatibility portion of it, does not mean that you can have it within the Quad Cortex. So I know that was one of the questions there, is if it is an X plugin, does that mean it automatically is compatible with the Quad Cortex? No. That just means that set up to be able to be launched, that whole importing into the actual Quad Cortex, that's a whole different thing. The X portion gives it the ability to be ready to be, put into the Quad Cortex. Just, like all the other things like the doubler and all the little bits and pieces that these X plugins have for it, all right? As you can see here, you need to refresh the licenses on your Quad Cortex after the update. So there's a few things that you need to do, and I know there's going to be a whole bunch of questions. Everybody's going to be like, how do I do this? How do I do that? Go to the knowledge base. I'm telling you, it helps out a lot, okay? Start there, and then if you go through all these things and you still have questions, obviously you can reach out to Neural DSP. And mind you, I don't work for them. I'm just trying to help out, and I see just a bunch of questions. Now, err on the side of no question's a dumb question. There's a reason why people have these questions, because there's some underlying issue that they've not figured out or ignorant of, and not to say it's their fault. All right, so the free plugin thing. Let's go ahead and talk about that, because I know everybody's been wanting to know about the free plugin thing. So I'm going to go back here. Let's see here. Free plugins. Giving away all these plugins to all the previous owners. All right. You get a free plugin of your choice on Wednesday, July 31st. All right. So a few things to point out about this. I saw one of the questions being, does it matter when you bought the QC? Yes, it does. And it has to be a QC that doesn't already have the CorOS 3.0 already on it. So any new QCs that are bought after, I don't know what date that is, I would guess after July 31st is my guess. Could be the extent of the free plugin thing to August 28th as you see here, Wednesday, August 28th. So any of the Quad Cortexes out there, you need to make sure that you have your accounts, your Neural DSP account on the Quad Cortex during this time before you update to CorOS 3.0. Make sure that it is yours. Like if you've bought it from somebody else, go in there and make sure that the Quad Cortex in the actual device is set up with your account. Because if you don't, that gift is going to go to that other guy in their account. And Quad Cortex doesn't have a way of saying, oh, okay, well, you did it or he did it. When did you buy it? All this kind of stuff. So just avoid all that. Make sure that your account is plugged into the Quad Cortex before you do the CorOS 3.0. So I think during this time, this gift is only available through July 31st to August 28th. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. After August 28th, no matter what you do or how you did it, I don't think you get the gift. These are for the people who are up and up, and I'm trying to help you guys to stay on the up. All right. Let's see. Yeah, there's some frequently asked questions down here. Will I be eligible to receive the gifts for my... I already covered that one. So just make sure that it's logged in, just like it says here. Do I have to redeem my gift straight away? No. See, here's the piece of it. As long as you log in or update your Quad Cortex with your account between the date of July 31st and August 28th, then you can redeem it whenever you want. Meaning any kind of future, doesn't mean like within this time that these plugins here, this is the only kind of plugins that you get. It doesn't have to be X either. It can be any kind, or just any of the plugins that are on this website. So you got your Nollies, your Parallax. I'm having a hard time between the Nameless and the Rebea. I would guess that the Rebea would be a little tougher to make compatible with the Quad Cortex because it just has more stuff like the synth and all that kind of stuff. So I wonder if they already have that already implemented in some kind of form of fashion and set up to go ahead and take it. From my point of view, it's a tough one between those two. I do have a secret one that I may actually go with, and I'll probably do a video on that too. More than likely. I'm probably going to pick this other one that I've been thinking about, but we'll see. All right, so what else we got here? All right, let's go over some of the things like that I saw on the video that John did with Neural. Great video too. Of some of the things that, that I noticed. So I just took a couple screenshots. And this is kind of like what it looks like right here. So you basically got your regular screen with your rows and everything, and they're all blocks. All the different effects, all the bits and pieces of it are just blocks. So this is what it's going to look like. Of course, they're not going to have the plugin, GUI, and, all that. That'd be crazy. That's a whole nother thing. It seems like you go into this little plugins portion here, and then it'll list the plugins out. The one thing that I know that is not coming out with this 3.0 is user created presets. So the presets that will be there are the presets that came with the plugins, not the ones that you created. I'm sure that's going to be a later development. We'll just kind of wait for that one. And still, you can still build them. You just can't have what you have saved on yours imported into here. Now maybe there's a workaround with the Cortex control. Maybe there's a workaround with that. Not sure yet. So there's that. Another thing about this that's cool about this is that within this we can actually mix and match. You can use plugin stuff. You can use plugins from a different thing. So you got the Gojira X, you got the Plini X, and you can mix and match them. It could be the cab, it could be the pedals, it could be the amps. It doesn't matter. It's going to work just like everything else. You have the device, you put in the blocks, and you build your presets. with what you have available. So that is really cool too. I think the last thing that I wanted to go through was, do we have a rundown list of all the plugins that will be implemented? We do not. What we know is that the plugins are set up for X mode, which is the initial stage before they can get ready to implement it into the Quad Cortex. As far as when each one will go, because we know that the Soldano is an X, right? Let's go over to the plugins here. So we got the Nolly, Parallax, the Soldano. I know a lot of people are waiting for the Parallax X. That'd be great for the bass players. I know that'd be really cool. But I think there is a dark class capture on there too. But just to have the Parallax would be awesome. So we got the Nameless and the Gojira X. Polini X. What else do we got? X. That's it. Yeah. So I think it's in the order that they've made them X's that they will work on. Just think about it from a development standpoint, right? They went through and made a plugin and revamped it and put the new features and stuff on it. Well, that's set up for the next stage of development, which would be implementing it. So I would bet that as soon as they finish the X portion of it, they're in order of that, which I forget what the order was. I think Nolly being the last one. So out of the plugins that we've seen so far, Nolly is the last one to get implemented into the Quad Cortex. Okay, I really just wanted to go through and talk about some of these things. I'm sure there's a bunch more questions about all this stuff. Hopefully this helped out some of you guys just kind of understand what we're getting ourselves into going forward. At the moment, things may change, software development, that's kind of how things go. Really glad this is here. And if you guys have any questions, go down in the comments, link below. And remember, go to the knowledge base right here. It's got everything you need. DMD out.